What's up, pups? How you guys doing? I'm doing great, thanks for asking. I am not wearing any makeup, and for the first time of not wearing makeup, well, not the first time, but like the first time more recently, I feel real good about myself because I've been doing a skincare routine for about 4 months now, and I haven't strayed from it, and I have the best skin I've ever had in my life. Today am doing a video about the do's and don'ts of wedding planning. Who is she? She's gonna tell you about planning a wedding. This list is by no means complete. These are just the things off the top of my head that I really can't stress enough to you that I think you should do and you should not do because it will make your life a little easier. So we're gonna start with the do list. Things that I recommend you do for your wedding because it's better. Number 1, fake flowers. Listen, I know a lot of people feel a certain way about fake flowers, but let me tell you, it is the best and cheapest option. I've seen people arguing in favor and opposition of fake flowers with arguments like, oh, well, it's just as expensive as real flowers, or it's very time consuming, or they look super fake. If you, A, are shopping smart, B, are buying your flowers mainly from Hobby Lobby or Ling's Moments or Michael's in like the nicer section, because they have the fake flowers and then they have like luxe fake flowers. When you're shopping with coupons or sales or when they're doing like an end of the season clearance, that is how I shopped. I think I ended up spending between $400 and $500 total on everything. All of my floral table decor, all of the bouquets, all of the decorations for the altar, my bouquet, the toss bouquet, the boutonnieres, everything. Every bit of floral in my wedding was fake. And I got it all from Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Amazon, Ling's Moments. Those are the places that I shopped when there were deals. $400 to $500. Yes, it was time consuming, but I ended up scheduling bridesmaids days throughout the year where I'd have as many bridesmaids who could come over as possible, and we would just sit on the floor with a glue gun and floral wire and wrap up different stuff. Like, we made it all. So I had help. I found wooden boxes on Solo wood flowers, which none of my flowers were wooden because I know those are really big for weddings too. I didn't buy any of the wooden flowers, but I found floral boxes. I think I got 9 boxes for like $30, which is really cheap. I will put photos right here. My decor, in my opinion, didn't look fake. And a lot of people at the wedding kept commenting on the flowers and not realizing that they were fake. When they found out they were fake, they were like, what? I thought they were real. Because I shopped smart, I bought flowers on sale, and I picked ones that looked more realistic. So it can be done. Don't let people tell you otherwise. Don't spend $2,000 on things that are gonna die. That's the worst part about it. My bridesmaids all got to keep their hoop bouquets that I made, and they're using them as decor on their wall. So it's now a memory, something that they get to keep forever. So do what you want, but I highly recommend fake flowers. Number 2, if you have the option, do the bar yourself or have a limited bar. I know a lot of venues will come with a bar and a bartender, and they offer like open bar or premium bars, you know, beer, wine, what have you. Our venue did not supply a bartender or alcohol or anything like that. Our venue was a la carte, so we rented the actual venue itself and then we had to supply everything else. Was it stressful? Yes, but I was able to have a friend help me with bartending, so I hired a friend to bartend. The one thing that we almost forgot about was ice, because obviously you have to have ice. So there are ice companies that will I think we got 500 pounds of ice for $100, which is very cheap. We decided, since we were supplying everything for the bar, that we would do a red and a white wine, 4 different kegs of beer, and 2 liquors, and then we would have 2 signature drinks. And of course we'd have soda and Sprite, so if people didn't like the signature drinks, they could just mix like vodka, soda, or Crown and Sprite. People were doing shots all night. I didn't expect that. We bought the perfect amount of liquor and the perfect amount of beer. We have a ton of wine left over, so depending on your crowd, I mean, I'm fine with having a lot of wine left over. For the engagement party and the bridal shower, I requested that instead of gifts, people would gift us a handle of either Tito's or Crown. So After all was said and done, we only had to purchase, I think, 2 extra handles of Crown and 2 extra handles of Tito's. I ended up getting the wine at an amazing deal from Lucky's at the end of the year. Then I just stored it in a cool room in my house, temperature controlled, and it was fine. And we ended up going to Total Wine during one of their discounts. So we had, I think it was 20% off the specific bottles of wine that we got, and then because of the bulk amount we were buying, we got an additional 15% off. So I think we got each bottle of wine for like $4 each. So I highly recommend it. We saved a lot of money that way. As far as it goes with catering, when we started looking into different catering companies, I thought I would die because everyone charged upwards of like $80 to like $150 a person. And I was like, I can't afford this. At the time when we were planning our wedding, we had 114 people on our list. So 114 times 135, that's like a lot of money. We put our budget at $30 a person, and it was impossible to find that. So what we ended up doing was we went with a food truck. We worked with a food truck who had appetizers, like so cocktail hour plus buffet dinner at $35 a person, which was $5 over our budget that we made for ourselves. However, it ended up working out because from those 114 people we invited, we only had, I think, 79 people who actually came. And then I think the day of the wedding, we had 3 or 4 people just no-show. So it wasn't terrible. It was super affordable that way, $35 a person for a buffet and cocktail hour. It worked out great. Everyone raved about the food. They said it was incredible. We ended up doing a mac and cheese bar and then a Medeiros bar, which was like rice and beans and pulled pork and plantains. And with the food truck, they were able to cook the food on site. So if we ran out of something, they just whipped it up in the truck and brought it out. So it worked out really great. Definitely 100%, if you have the option, opt for 2 photographers. That was something that I didn't realize would make the biggest difference in the world, because now instead of one person being everywhere at once, you have 2 people being everywhere at once. Maybe you're taking your wedding party shots and someone, the other photographer's out photographing cocktail hour, which is cool. So highly recommend. We had 2 photographers. Definitely recommend it. I will link my photographer down below. He actually does travel. I've also been friends with him for a really long time, but he does travel out of state. He is a destination photographer, so I'll link his stuff down below. Something that Ian and I knew that we didn't want to do was like the garter thing where he would pull the garter off. We just weren't into the idea of it. So we still wanted to do a bouquet and garter toss, just without like the raunchiness of it, I guess. So what I decided is that we would do a bouquet toss. However, the bouquet toss would be to all women, whether you're married, single, in a relationship, doesn't matter. We asked all of the women to get on the dance floor, and then I tossed the bouquet, and the person who caught it got to keep the bouquet and also got a bottle of wine. So we had the DJ set up with a bottle of wine ready to go. So that happened. And then for the garter toss, we put a Taco Bell garter that I got from TacoBellShop.com. We put that around a white Packers football, and then on the football we wrote our names, the date, and then we wrote Live Mas, because we both love Taco Bell. And then Ian threw the football, same thing, all the guys, married, single, in a relationship, whatever, all came out on the floor. Whoever got the football got to keep the football, the garter, and also got a nice bottle of beer that I found at Lucky's. So it worked out really fun. I felt like it was more inclusive of everybody attending the wedding, and everyone had fun with it. So I recommend doing that if you're not keen on the idea of doing like a normal garter toss, bouquet toss type thing. Make it more fun, include more people at your wedding, have some prizes. It worked out really great. Can't stress this enough. I joined I don't know, maybe 10 wedding groups on Facebook, like whether it's buy and sell wedding decor groups, which I found a lot of my stuff on there. Join buy and sell wedding groups. Join just like wedding support groups. One group in particular, Bride Tribe Uncensored, that group got me through my wedding. It's a very small knit group. I will link it down below. The admins were awesome. The people in the group were just like very matter of fact, like tell you their exact opinion. I feel like it made all of the difference being in that group and just having like the support of other people who were planning their wedding. And you know, if I needed advice on something or if I just wanted someone's ideas or support, it was just, they were there and they were all like active and supportive, and that group made a huge difference. So if you have a Facebook, definitely recommend joining wedding support groups and wedding buy-sell groups, because I mean, they're there and they help, and it made a huge difference. Vows. Can't recommend enough that you write your own vows. I know a lot of people get nervous about it. I know a lot of people aren't open to the idea of spilling your emotions that much in front of people. Ian and I wrote our own vows. He was very on the fence about it at first. I knew going in that I 100% wanted to do it. Everyone told me, you're gonna cry. You're not gonna be able to get through your vows. You can't, like, why are you writing your own vows? It's too much. It's too much. No, it was perfect. I did not cry. I got to add in some funny quips. I said, that's what she said in my vows. I got to do that because I wrote them. So highly recommend you write your vows. Ian ended up loving that we wrote our vows. Ian surprised me and had a book created that he wrote his vows in, and I will forever treasure it. It's just, I can't recommend enough writing your own vows. It's so meaningful. It's sentimental, and you can gift each other like your vows. Don't let people deter you from writing your own vows if you're thinking about it. Don't listen to people when they say, you'll cry, you can't get through it, oh my god. No, do what you want. Always. That is the biggest thing I have to say. Do what you want. It's your wedding. Do what you want. Venue layout. So this is a little bit more on the serious side. However, when you pick your venue, ask them if they have printouts of like the venue with like details regarding like sizing and like spacing and all that jazz. My venue supplied us with these printouts of like the ceremony space, the cocktail hour space, as well as the actual like reception part. This was all outside. However, what we ended up doing was we made layouts. So before we even got there, I made sure Ian had this going in. We laid out where we wanted the tables. We laid out what decor went where the DJ was going to be, where the photo booth was going to be. We even made a separate copy for like the backup plan in case it wouldn't stop raining. So we made a separate copy for the reception space if it had to also become the ceremony space. I laid out a detailed ceremony space. This is where we did the ceremony. So I showed where every chair needed to go, where the seating chair needed to go, where the arch would go, where the bridesmaids would stand, where the groomsmen, like I did everything. This is daunting. I'm not gonna lie to you. We went to our venue. We took photos of certain places. We brought minimal decor with us, so I was able to take a photo of the decor where I wanted it, and then I printed those out and gave them to Ian and my coordinator the day of. So I handed them this with the photos, and I said, here's where I want everything laid out. That way it was simplified and easy, and they knew exactly what to do, and it takes a little bit of time, but I recommend it. I saved this one for last on the do because I know that this is a very controversial thing. Big bridal party. We had a big bridal party, and there are pros and cons to having a big bridal party. Pro, you have a lot of friends surrounding you and supporting you. You have people who are willing to help you with things when one person's unavailable, maybe someone else is. There's a lot of support as far as it goes with like inclusivity. If you have a lot of friends, you can make everyone feel important. We ended up having 7 and 7. So we had 14, if you included us, 16. That's a massive bridal party. And then with their plus ones, we made up almost half of the wedding. We wouldn't have it any other way. I loved all of my friends. I wanted all of them a part of my day. They were all so important to me, and I just couldn't imagine leaving 1 or 2 or 3 people out. Like, I needed them all there with me. That being said, something to consider if you have a big bridal party. With that comes love and support and help and just having a good time, having a blast with the people that you love. However, this didn't happen for me, so take this with a grain of salt, but I've heard from other people that big bridal parties can lead to drama and arguments. That did not happen because my bridal party, we are all best friends. Ian's groomsmen and him, all best friends. We didn't have any arguments or fighting or bickering because we all just are cohesively together, like as a unit, are friends. However, I have heard from people that larger bridal parties can lead to drama and arguments. Something else to consider, and this does happen regardless of a big bridal party, shit's expensive. because remember, you have to get bridesmaid gifts and groomsmen gifts and rehearsal dinner. That gets expensive. So we ended up doing a rehearsal barbecue at my dad's house because with bridal party and plus ones, we had a little over 30 people. And then of course, adding family into the mix, we had about 50 people for our rehearsal. So we ended up doing a rehearsal barbecue pool party, and we just made burgers and hot dogs and hung out at my dad's pool, and it was great. That's another thing. You don't have to do like a formal rehearsal. Keep it very simple. Do what you love. For Ian and I, a barbecue with a pool, that we all had such a good time. We just relaxed and swam, had a good time. And that's all that matters, because it's your wedding. It doesn't have to feel formal. If you're not a formal person, that's not a part of who you are. Who cares? Just go to the pool and eat hot dogs. Everyone likes hot dogs. And if you don't, they make vegan options, so it's fine. Okay, so now let's go to the skip it list. These are things that you really don't need to do for your wedding, and it doesn't make a difference if you do it or not. Number 1, favors. Don't do them. I didn't do wedding favors. I saved myself money. No one even noticed. No one noticed we didn't have favors. Now, I am the queen of wanting to gift things to everybody at all times. Skipping favors was difficult because I spent like the whole wedding planning process saying, well, what if I made enamel pins? Or what if I made decals? Or what if I made candles? Or what if I did this or this or this? Like things that are easy for me. No, don't do it. They didn't even notice. They didn't notice there were no favors. It's fine. Save yourself the money. No one cares. No one wants a little heart-shaped bottle opener. No one wants a little bird salt shaker. Just skip it. Save yourself the money. I have never been interested in cake cutting because I feel like people just want you to throw cake in the other person's face, and I feel like that's rude and you're wearing an expensive outfit, and no. So we did not do a cake cutting. We had a dessert bar, and that went over so great. People loved having options. We had one cake that we had Deb, one of my bridesmaids, made. So it was a little cake and then a littler cake, so it was very small. I ended up giving the top of it to my family, and the bottom part we saved and took to our maid of honor best man's house the next day, and we ate it with our bridal party, which was, I think, more special because we just had like a small little wedding cake for us. Don't do a cake cutting. Everyone's just gonna want you to throw cake. Your dress was really expensive, girl. Don't let it happen. Don't do it. It's just, also like they charge way too much money for a knife and like cake cutter set. Like that's too much money. It's a waste of money. Don't do it. No one even noticed that we didn't do a cake cutting because no one ever pays attention. I already mentioned this kind of, but like the awkward garter thing, skip it. It's so weird. Like unless you really feel strongly about doing it, like no one misses it. It's just weird. Like save yourself the money and time. Like I said, we still bought a garter and we still did what we did. That cost money, however, it made our guests feel included, and it was just a fun experience. But I would totally just skip the whole like pull the garter off and then toss it, and then like whoever catches the bouquet in the garter has to put it back on. Like just skip it. It's so it's just so awkward. No one ever enjoys that. Like it's not an enjoyable experience for anyone, so skip it. This is also very hit or miss, but we hated doing a first dance. So my recommendation is if you don't want to do a first dance, don't do it. We actually skipped completely the mother, son, and daughter, father dance. We didn't do those at all. We just omitted them completely, and we let our parents know we would not be doing those. I don't know. In my opinion, it wasn't important to us. And so we actually wanted to skip the first dance altogether because we didn't even like the idea of having a first dance with people watching us. However, we were talked into doing it, and the whole time we were just joking around and like I'll insert a clip here. The whole time we were just joking around and like being like, when is this gonna be over? When is this gonna be over? Oh my god, it's not over. Oh, the song is going forever. So like we didn't want to do it. So if you don't want to do it, don't do it. Don't allow yourself to be talked into it. Skip them if you don't. I mean, the only good thing I can see is for photos, because we got a really pretty photo out of it, but like also, it's not a big deal. Anyway, I hope these tips help you with your wedding planning. Wedding planning is hard. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's difficult, but it's very rewarding. We don't regret anything. We spent a lot of money, or we went over budget. However, it was the best party that we have ever put on, and I still don't understand how it came together. Like, it was the best day. I know people are always like, oh, the wedding is gonna be the best day of your life, and I was one of those cynical people who's like, whatever. It really was the best day. And it's the best day because we did it. Like, we made that happen. So yeah, good luck with your wedding planning. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I will make sure I respond to everybody. And yeah, I will see you guys in a few days with another video. Bye guys.